after I finished Oversea, I did something that appalled my parents, my family, my editor, especially my editor, because I married an American who was 20 years older than me and had 3 teenage children. And I left London, and left my job, left everything, and came to live in Massachusetts. And it was such an enormous change of life that my head went sideways. I wrote a book about America for the British, Britain for the Americans. It was called Behind the Golden Curtain, because I felt we didn't understand each other one bit. I edited a book of essays of an English writer who was a friend of mine, J.B. Priestley. I wrote a book about him. I was writing a weekly column for the National Morning Newspaper of Wales, which is also a part of my life. I'm a quarter Welsh. I was doing almost everything you can think of except writing for children. I don't quite know why. I think it was because I was having such trouble dealing with being homesick, getting used to living in the States, not to mention being a stepmother of 3 teenagers at the age of 27. And then one day we were cross-country skiing in Winchester, Massachusetts, where we lived. And I found myself going down the trail, looking at banks of snow with bare branches sticking out of them. They looked rather like buried deer. And suddenly, for absolutely no reason, I thought, I want to write a book set in snow just like this, but in England, about a boy who wakes up on his 11th birthday and finds he can work magic. So when I was at home up in my study, my patient husband had made me a very nice study at the top of the house. I started to play with this idea and it didn't work. It came out, just didn't come out right, so I put it away. Went on writing my non-fiction things. I wrote a different book, an autobiographical book about growing up in England during World War II, and sent it to an agent. I hadn't learned any better yet. And the agent said, "I'm sorry, this is about a child, but it's for grown-ups and it doesn't fit on anybody's list, adult or children's list." By this time, an American editor called Margaret McElderry at Harcourt Brace had bought my first book from its English publishers, Oversea Under Stone, and she was a friend. So I sent her this manuscript and said, "Nobody wants to publish this, could you tell me what's wrong with it?" And she read it and she said, "There's nothing wrong with it, it's a children's book, and I'll publish it." It was called The Camp. So she published it. She wanted the name changed. We called it Dawn of Fear.